What's up, everybody? Here we are, man. Back again, one more time, paying tribute to a great influencer, a great icon from, I don't want to call it old times, but that great period of creativity that I always talk about. And Jimmy Buffett, in these times, unless you're sick, 76 is still fairly young. But I heard that Jimmy was sick, and that I believe he might have been diagnosed with skin cancer or a different type of cancer of some sort. That's just kind of what I'm hearing in the air. But yeah, definitely 76 is leaving us too soon. So, man, yeah, it's incredible, with the passing of these really important influencers. I don't want to say that we're losing a piece of ourselves, but that's how it feels. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this. First off, before I get going, I want to give a shout out and a thanks very much to one of my very first subscribers, Brad Jenkins. Brad's got access to my private email, and he was the very first to alert me to this. I was just stepping out the door, actually. And, then I had to kind of sit down for a second and collect things before I left. So what he sent me is a couple of news shorts of Jimmy's passing, his information, some of the great things he's accomplished in his life. And there's 3 of those, and then we're going to go and do 2 back-to-back videos of his 2 favorite songs, Margaritaville being the first, and then Come Monday being the second one. And fingers crossed, because of course, I with tribute reactions, I like to try my best to stick to live performances, because they have a better chance of making it up on YouTube. But videos do well as well, like the official music videos. They seem to do okay too, so we'll take our chances there. If you do see some snips, you know why. All right, so man, let's hit this up. Apologies as well, I'm a touch under the weather, so if you hear some graviness in my voice, it's because of that. Otherwise, man, let's pay tribute to a great influencer, Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett, starting with the Today Show's report. Let's get it.
For more than half a century, Jimmy Buffett lived what he sang about, proudly building a billion-dollar career around beach bum anthems like Margaritaville. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Cheeseburger in paradise. And Cheeseburger in Paradise. More than a musician, Buffett embodied a lifestyle. The breezy slacker, happy to waste the day away, barefoot, frozen cocktail in hand. Born in Mississippi, Buffett would find his sound in the laid-back rhythms of Florida's Key West. A counterpoint to the so-called yuppie generation, Buffett's blend of tropical rock found a legion of fans known as parrot heads, flocking to his concerts en masse, dressed in Hawaiian shorts and flip-flops. A Jimmy Buffett song come to life.
I think everybody needs a little escapism. And, a stockbroker or a hedge fund manager, you'd see people coming from work, taking their ties off and putting their Hawaiian shirts over their suits.
Over his career, Buffett sold more than 20 million albums. All that fun in the sun paid off, and not just in record sales. Buffett became a billion-dollar brand, opening Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville restaurants across the U.S., selling books, beers, real estate, popping up in movies, inspiring a Broadway show. All the while, he never lost his laid-back charm, revealing in 2018 his secret to having fun.
It's lucky to have this job. I think the older you get and do it, the more you appreciate it.
Buffett himself once said, "If there's a heaven for me, I'm sure it has a beach attached." Parrot heads the world over know that is the icon's paradise. There was no cause of death given, but we know that he had not been in the best of health in recent months. In May, he canceled his tour, telling fans essentially, growing old isn't easy. Jimmy Buffett was 76 years old.
It's one heck of a life he lived, and the legacy he leaves behind, not just music, but you know what's going to be serenading people all weekend long. It's going to be the sing-alongs to Cheeseburger and Paradise and Margaritaville and all the great ones.
Beaches everywhere. That's what we're going to be listening to.
For sure, Joe. That was a nice way to remember him.
Great way to
We
be
begin
remembered.
with some sad news, as I mentioned, from the music world. Legendary singer-songwriter Jimmy Buffett has died. He turned a song about a frozen drink and celebrating the beach bum lifestyle into a one-man, multi-billion-dollar business empire. 27 studio albums, 2 Grammy nods, a chain of resorts and restaurants, and even retired living communities, all to his name. But it started and ended with the music. And he'll forever be associated with warm beaches, flip-flops, margaritas, all the good stuff. And of course, it always being 5 o'clock somewhere.
Tropical rock, I'll remember that.
With over 50 years creating his own lane in country music, Buffett's feel-good vibe earned him legions of devoted fans, of course known as parrot heads. His team confirming that Buffett passed away peacefully on Friday, surrounded by his family, friends, and dogs, living life like a song till the very last breath. He was 76 years old. CNN's Stephanie Elam takes a look now at his long-spanning and somewhat unusual career.
Wasted away again in Margaritaville.
Definitely someone who
Jimmy
lived
Buffett's
life
laid-back
on their own
songs
terms.
captured the feel of lazy days in paradise. Some called his signature sound Gulf and Western, a mix of country and Caribbean music.
I love the Caribbean through a sort of a strange way. My grandfather was a sailing ship captain, and he sang the Calypso songs. So all this sort of amalgamation of material came in and came back out. And I learned to be a performer, and that gave me the vehicle to do it.
Buffett was born Christmas Day, 1946, on the Gulf Coast in southern Mississippi, and raised in the port city of Mobile, Alabama. He began his career making country music, but only really found his musical voice after moving to Key West in the 70s.
Changes in latitude, changes in attitude.
Key West is
Nothing remains quite the same.
His time among the colorful characters there helped inspire his tropical style and eventually led to his landmark 1977 album, Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes, and its famous hit song, Margaritaville.
Some people claim that there's a woman to blame. Now I think it could be my fault.
But Buffett's greatest musical success was on the concert stage, not the charts. He made hundreds of millions of dollars touring over the decades, supported by his legion of die-hard fans known as parrot heads.
The audience is just so much fun for me to look at. I mean, they're as entertaining to me as I hope I am to them.
His music may have been laid back, but Buffett brought so much energy to his life. He piloted airplanes, wrote best-selling books, raised funds for Democratic candidates, and amassed a fortune estimated at $1 billion through his Margaritaville lifestyle brand, which included restaurants, hotels, resorts, and casinos.
What a life.
Like his music, it was all geared toward capturing the magic of the tropical places Buffett loved best.
From New Orleans to the Gulf Coast, down into St. Bart's and other places, I still can find magic in most of those places where people think there isn't any left.
Today, the
All of that
world was
success
rocked as
start
we
with
learned the
the
tragic
music?
news that the man and legend himself, Jimmy Buffett, had passed away at the age of 76 years old. The news of Jimmy Buffett's passing was revealed onto his official social media accounts and to his official website in a statement that reads, Jimmy passed away peacefully on the night of September 1st, surrounded by his family, friends, music, and dogs. He lived his life like a song till the very last breath and will be missed beyond measure by so many. At the time that we first learned of Buffett's untimely passing, a cause of death had not yet been revealed. However, later today, according to TMZ, who spoke to sources with direct knowledge surrounding Jimmy Buffett's health battle, have indicated that the sources stated Jimmy had been diagnosed with skin cancer 4 years ago and that it had turned into lymphoma. Also, according to TMZ, the publication was notified that Jimmy Buffett had been secretly battling the diagnosis and had been sick for a while and was eventually placed into hospice care. One of the sources for TMZ, who is a close friend to Jimmy, told the publication, he lived his life in the sun, literally and figuratively, and that hospice care for Jimmy began last Monday. During his time in hospice, TMZ also learned that Paul McCartney came to Buffett's home and sang for Jimmy's family. Buffett's passing is absolutely devastating, as he is an icon, and not only has he touched people with his infectious music, but he has reached the masses by his lifestyle and laid-back approach to the world. Fins up, Jimmy. You will forever be missed. As always, guys, thank you all for tuning in here at CountryCast. That will be it for today's video.
Margaritaville, the official video.
Nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All of those tourists covered with oil.
I've never seen the video.
Drumming my six string on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to boil. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost sugar salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault.
What's your favorite Jimmy Buffett song? I can't just assume it's Margaritaville.
Don't know the reason, stayed here all season. Nothing to show but this brand new tattoo. But it's a real beauty, a Mexican cutie. How it got here, I haven't a clue. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost sugar salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame. Now I think, hell, it could be my fault.
Here she goes.
I blew out my flip-flop,
What a shot.
stepped on a pop top, cut my heel, had to cruise on back home. But there's booze in the blender, and soon it will render that frozen concoction that helps me hang on. Wasting away again in
I had a couple of
Margaritaville,
buddies in the Navy who used to do crazy shit
searching
like this.
for my lost sugar salt.
It's all they live for.
Some people
Okay. The official music video with no Jimmy in
Come
it.
Monday. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
there he is.
One of my 2.4 hit records. We had no money to do this video. Thus, I had my girlfriend at the time, Jane, work for free. She had been modeling. She now is my wife. She doesn't work for free anymore. The car is not a prop. That was my truck and my conch cruiser until it was impounded and crushed into a scrap metal rectangle at Carlos's junkyard. The Boston Whaler was my first boat that I ever bought. There really wasn't much need in scripting this. This was where I lived, the people I lived with, and the girl who I wrote Come Monday about. So here it is.
Cool. Let's check it out. I remember this too.
Heading out to San Francisco
Please make it out to you.
for the Labor Day weekend show.
Let's strengthen it.
I got my hush puppies on. I guess I never was meant for glitter rock and roll. And honey, I didn't know that I'd be missing you so. Come Monday, it'll be alright. Come Monday, I'll be holding you tight. I spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze, and I just want you back by my side.
Isn't that the same lady in the first video?
Yeah,
That's his wife,
it's
isn't it?
been quite a summer. Rent-a-cars and westbound trains.
That was his wife in the first video.
And now you're off on vacation. Something you tried to explain. And darling, it's I love you so. That's the reason I just let you go. Come Monday, it'll be alright. Come Monday, I'll be holding you tight. I spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze, and I just want you back by my side. I can't help it, honey. You're that much a part of me now. Remember that night in Montana when we said there'd be no room for doubt. I hope you're enjoying the scenery. I know that it's pretty up there. We can go hiking on Tuesday. With you I'd walk anywhere. California has worn me quite thin. I just can't wait to see you again. Come Monday, it'll be alright. Come Monday, I'll be holding you tight. I spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze, and I just want you back by my side. I spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze, and I just want you back by my side.
Beautiful. Wow. The great Jimmy Buffett. You know, guys, whenever these icons pass, I don't know. Well, of course it happens to you because, you know, for the majority of you, you were brought up on rock and, you know, that sort of thing. But even for me, I get flashes of memories and associated timelines of my past, relevant little bits of my past come back to me. Where Jimmy Buffett is concerned, there's a whole bunch of things. One, confession time, and don't kick the hell out of me for this. Come Monday, just by impression alone, I always assumed that it was Jim Croce. Damn. Yeah, I know. Sacrilege. Don't kick the shit out of me. Now, with Jimmy Buffett, man, he is a perfect example of the fact that, okay, I wasn't brought up in the rock genre, but you can't deny the fact of the far-reaching influence of some of these artists on your social pattern, your social imprinting, your social upbringing. Even though I was raised on things outside of classic rock, my friends grew up listening to this, and you go to parties and all of these different things. I have been drunk as a damn fish singing along to Margaritaville back in my drunken sailor days. So yeah, man, these things do influence you, even though you weren't brought up, let's say, in the rock. And I know that this isn't classic rock in a sense. It's a little closer to rock than anything else. It's kind of like he's one of those artists where he's kind of like on a dividing line, but he would still be probably categorized as rock more so than anything else. Maybe folk rock, I don't know. But you get my point, man. And then I remember this really cool memory of one of my ex-girlfriends, and she introduced me to Cheeseburger in Paradise. I thought it was the most ridiculous title, and then she played it for me and she started to explain the lifestyle that goes with it. She started to explain the concept of the freedom, and of course I listened to the song and everything, and I became a fan of Jimmy Buffett from that, not Margaritaville, and then there's Come Monday, and then I'm sure that there's more. And then, like I mentioned to you, some of the guys in the armed forces, on my ship in particular, who, that video, the Margaritaville video of his wife surfing, a lot of them would be doing that, no matter where we went. Man, and I remember we were in, where the hell was the ship? We were off the coast of Hawaii, and we were escorting the Missouri, the USS Missouri. It was her last voyage, and we were escorting her up to Pearl Harbor, and they were shooting some movie on it at the time. But I remember when we stopped, we were in Waikiki, and we went ashore, and we were kind of like doing what sailors do. We do our kind of drunken pub crawls from one pub to another type of thing, and we're standing outside of a really, really nice hotel deck lounge, and we were waiting to get in. It seemed like it was very packed, and there was a decent lineup, but we didn't mind. We had drinks in hands and that sort of thing. And someone was saying, "Man, this dude sounds so much like Jimmy Buffett. He's just on point, and it's been like 3 or 4 songs, and he's still hitting those marks so perfectly. It's incredible." And so we were kind of like on the side, and Jimmy, this was actually Jimmy Buffett, he was maybe 30 yards away from us. We were that close, right? But in the end, it was just too packed. They had reached their fire code and they couldn't let us in. But we couldn't stand there, right? So that's as close as I ever got to seeing Jimmy Buffett. So we just kind of like went around the corner, and we sat in kind of like a little open space. The adjacent property also had a really, really nice outside serving lounge, and we couldn't see him, but we could hear him, and we just listened to the entire concert sitting there. And we had to keep drinking, because they would have kicked us off the lounge. And man, were we ever done, But that was one of my cool memories of Jimmy Buffett, even though I never got that close to him or to meet him or whatnot. yeah, man, the sound was on, and he was just showing those people a fantastic time. And the guys were saying to me, yeah, you know what he does is, I believe he's a pilot, and he flies himself from one island to another. He lives somewhere in the Caribbean, and but he flies all over the place. You know, he's down in Hawaii here, and he'll go from one really nice hotel lounge to another. I bet he probably owned the hotel. Maybe he owned the lounge. And that's how he spent so many of his years, because, you know, he had his heyday in the 70s. And so you ask yourself, what do these great icons from back in the day, if you don't hear from them, if they're not mainstream anymore or whatever, what did they spend their time doing? Well, he was still performing, he was still enjoying himself and still thrilling crowds, but in a smaller, more contained way, and he was keeping it regulated geographically, mainly to the tropical based places. And of course, he loves the tropics, so that totally made sense. I'm like, wow, that is a really great life, you know, post your heyday. So yeah, man, I've always liked Jimmy Buffett, not just for his songs, but his choice in lifestyle, you know, the way he approached life and the way he structured and created his livelihood and his empire around what his passion was, which was probably the tropical Caribbean lifestyle. So good on you, man. All right, y'all. I'm not going to talk too long here because my throat might give me some issues, but let's do just a little reading. You know how I do my format, and you know, like for anyone who doesn't know me and you're just stumbling upon this tribute reaction, what I usually do is I do a reaction and then I do what I call a review afterwards. And it's a combination of my commentary plus a little bit of wiki reading, you know, just to kind of edify a little bit. So Jimmy Buffett. James William Buffett. December 25th, 1946 to September 1st, 2023, was an American singer-songwriter, musician, author, and businessman. He was best known for his music, which often portrays an island escapism lifestyle. Together with his Coral Reefer band, Buffett recorded hit songs including Margaritaville, and it kind of gives you a list of all of these charts that it's made, and Come Monday. He has a devoted fan base known as Parrotheads. Aside from his career in music, Buffett was also a best-selling author and was involved in 2 restaurant chains named after 2 of his best-known songs. He owned the Margaritaville Cafe restaurant chain and co-developed the now-defunct Cheeseburger in Paradise restaurant chain. I wonder what happened there. Buffett was one of the world's richest musicians with a net worth of $1 billion as of 2023. Brother invested well. Oh yeah, I had that question for you. All of this fantastic success and this incredible net worth, did it start with just him and his guitar, with just his music, or did he have a sum of money beforehand? Was he already investing beforehand? Let me know about that. Musical style. Buffett began calling his music drunken Caribbean rock and roll. As he said in his 1978 live album, You Had to Be There. Earlier, Buffett himself and others had used the term Gulf and Western to describe his musical style, and that of other similar sounding performances. The name derives from elements in Buffett's early music, including musical influence from country, along with lyrical themes from the Gulf Coast. A music critic described Buffett's music as a combination of tropical languor with country funkiness into what some have called the Key West sound, or Gulf and Western sound. Okay, fantastic. Damn, man, I love the Florida Keys so much. I like Cape Coral too. Have you guys ever been to Cape Coral and taken a couple of those really nice tours through the canals? Do that. Put that on your bucket list before you die, man. All right. That's all I'm going to read, man. That's all I'm going to feature where it comes to because Jimmy's Wikipedia here is very, very full. But yeah, man, hats off to a really, really great influencer. Someone who not only influences through music, but lifestyle. That's fantastic. And he seems to always have had a permanent smile on his face. He's got that easy, laid-back feeling, and it's conveyed so well through his music. So what I've got to do now is I've got to explore his musical catalog. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a pattern and that consistent trend of that laid-back, carefree escapism lifestyle, because that's the charm of his music to me. So if you have a list of really, really great recommended tunes for me to listen to, I don't know how vast. Wait, I believe, no, he sold 20 million albums, so I don't know how many specific albums he's created. But make a list for me of what you recommend as, let's say, his 10 best songs. Personally, that especially promotes the escapism lifestyle. I really like that theme of it, and I like his approach to creating his music, contributing to that. You know, that's totally my way of life. And once I'm an old geezer, I definitely want to be, you know, kind of living that carefree escapism type of lifestyle. And it's definitely going to include some of the tropical parts of the world, some of the safe tropical parts of the world. Yeah, definitely that includes the Florida Keys. Anyway, y'all, that was our look at a really fantastic artist. And, you know, I am not going to even get into my pattern of 3, but you know what, man? It's that time of year, it's that season, isn't it? And one of my friends said that you're probably under the weather, Wayne, because you are not accepting the fact that fall is already here, and we might not enjoy a really great Indian summer. And, you know, because have you guys noticed, man, that as soon as the 1st of September comes, that's it. The hot weather is gone, and that's always such a shock to the system. So maybe he's a little bit right. Maybe I'm still a little bit in denial that fall is already here. Anyway, man, hey, that's just how it goes. But maybe that's the reason why I'm a little under the weather, because I refuse to let go. So in regards to my channel, y'all, just really one super quick note before I bounce. I've been asked in the last couple of months throughout the summer what's been happening with my channel and all of this unblocked content. I don't know. I have no idea what is happening. My only theory is that because in total I've done close to 800 reactions, and it's scattered between YouTube and Vimeo and my Patreon. And where YouTube is concerned, what I've done is I've uploaded the video, and it'll just sit there. It'll sit there for years, and then all of a sudden, without warning, it's unblocked. I don't understand it. And we had this great unblocking, as I call it, in the summer in July, primarily with Led Zeppelin stuff. Why Led Zeppelin? Only because of all of the artists I've covered. 200 of those videos goes to Led Zeppelin. So when you see a great unblocking, of course you're going to see a decent amount of Led Zeppelin content. So where that's concerned, there's still maybe 15 Led Zeppelin videos that are still blocked. I really hope one day that we get to see the 69 Denmark concert. You know, I believe that was my very first live Led Zeppelin reaction. So, you know, of all of the Led Zeppelin stuff that's blocked, I would really like to see that get unblocked. But to answer your question, I don't know how, why, or what patterns or what happens with the algorithm, if it gets reset after a period of time, or I don't know. I just don't know. But that's the only thing that I can offer, is that I upload it, I leave it alone, and then, I check once in a while and it's unblocked, right? The O2 Arena concert is a really, really good example of that. I broke it up into 3 videos, and so to this day, the full actual video is still blocked, but the 3 individual videos are now unblocked. So the first 2 videos became unblocked first, and it took another week and a half for the 3rd part to become unblocked. So I have no idea how that works, but that's what's going on with my unblocked content. I think it's just because I've made so many videos in the last 5 years, almost 800. So I hope that explains things. So the great Jimmy Buffett, sad that he's left us, but very, very happy with what he left us with. And he is one of those people that will always be remembered, not just for the music, but for the lifestyle and the life that he actually exemplified. And I really respect the man for that. So hats off to you, sir. God bless you, and thank you for the music. All right, y'all. That is it, man. I'm going to bounce. And hopefully, prayerfully, fingers crossed, this makes it onto YouTube. And as well, hopefully, you're not going to see me anytime soon. You know why, right? Peace.